This article is an NCTM article found in the February 2016 issue titled Subitizing Games, Assessing Preschoolers' Number Understanding by McDonald and Shumway. The authors offer educators guidance on how to use children's quick attention to numerosity to evaluate their grasp of number while they engage in gameplay. Subitizing can be defined as quickly stating without counting how many items you see in a set. So subitizing actually begins perceptually when infants are as young as 6 months old and they attend toward quantities as large as 3. But this eventually changes to support early addition, which is a shift towards conceptual processes. So Sarah and Clements describe this perceptual and conceptual cognitive through the developmental progress beginning at age 4 when you perceptual subitize to 4 items or less. And at age 5, you perceptually subitize to 5 or recognize items made of 5 or fewer and verbally name the set. A conceptual subitizer can subitize to 5, verbally labeling 2 subgroups regarding 5 when shown briefly, and then moving on to conceptual subitizing even to 10. So perceptual subitizing illustrates children's primary dependence on a perceived orientation of items when subitizing 5 or fewer items. And conceptual understanding of number is describing subgroups relative to the total. He goes on to say that by 3rd grade, students capable of conceptual subitizing have more comprehensive computational strategies than peers unable to conceptually subitize. And as you notice, the perceptual switches quickly to conceptual within the same year. McDonald goes on to identify 6 types of subitizing, which can help or provide teachers with the ability to categorize and assess the development of students' number understanding. So they go on to categorize them in the following way. Initial perceptual, they just see a visual motion, they cannot state the composite number. Goes on to perceptual subgroup where they subitize small groups and still cannot subitize the entire composite number, so they see 2 and 3, but cannot say that there is 5. This child here saw 2 and 2 but could not say there was 4. So therefore, he fits under the perceptual subitizing subgroup. Then you have perceptual ascending, which you describe the subgroups in the composite number. So you say 2 and 3, and then you say that makes 5. Then you move on to the perceptual descending, where you describe the composite and describe the subgroup. So you say, I see 5 first because I see 2 and 3. This child falls under the perceptual ascending because she sees 2, 2, and 1, and goes on to say that there is 5. They go on to define conceptual subitizing as rigid and flexible. So seeing the composite, regardless of the orientation for rigid, and seeing the composite and then 2 more sets is the flexible. So playing games is a great way to engage students in subitizing activity. The key is the discussions with students about their thinking as they play the games is what serves as a useful assessment and instructional tool. This article provides 4 games that can be used in the classroom to encourage subitizing activity. The show and tell game, the ice cream game, and so forth. So what are we looking for by doing this? We're looking for students to understand number, order, and classification, and the implications, and to justify their thinking. The implications for teachers on considering how to use gameplay for ongoing formative assessments could immediately inform educators of appropriate instructional strategies without stopping direct instruction. The implications also support for appropriate interventions and also for differentiating to support and challenge students in early mathematics. So this is scaffolding, composition, and decomposition of number, and further conceptualizes relationships between numbers. So designing games for students to play can offer educators unique perspectives as to how their students are developing their mathematical understandings. So again, serving as an intervention tool and keeping track will help also to differentiate instruction effectively and to show how students progress over time.